Hello everybody, today we're doing a video for GTA Car Kits in a 2015 Audi Q7, and today we're going to show you how to install our Apple CarPlay and Android Auto kit. As you can see, it's already installed into this car. It's been paired to our iPhone wirelessly. You can also pair it to your Android phone wirelessly for Android Auto. The entire system gets controlled by the original controls of the car, so you're able to navigate through the entire CarPlay system or Android through these controls. You're able to do next track from here. All the music and phone calls are done through the original Audi Bluetooth. And if you want to switch back to the original system, you just press and hold the back button here, and the original Audi system comes on. So you don't lose any functionalities. You just get an extra feature that you didn't have before. And now we're going to show you how to install it into this particular car. So the tools you're going to need is a panel removal tool. This is our hook tool, flathead screwdriver. You're also going to need these keys, but these keys actually come with our kit. And of course, you're going to need our kit. We're going to start with removing the vents, and this is where you're going to need our hook tool. So if you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth one down after it, there's a hole on each side here where you insert the hook tool, and then you pull on it on each corner in order to remove this panel. So I'll show you once I remove it. It's going to be easier to see. So I'm doing the passenger side now. This is the driver side. And as you see, these are the holes. They're the same both on passenger and the driver side. So this is where you stick your tool through and you pull on. And at the back here, you're going to have two connections that we need to disconnect. And the small one. So this one I press the clip, and the small one you just pull on it in order to disconnect it. Now we're going to use our stereo removal keys in order to remove this head unit right below the vents. So you're going to insert these keys with these edges pointing towards the inside of the stereo. So you're going to insert about an inch on both sides, and they pretty much can't go any further. And then we're going to pull on the actual head unit and take it out. At this point, you can remove these keys, and we're going to keep pulling on the head unit, and you see all these connections here. We're going to disconnect them in order for us to be able to install easier. So first will be the fiber optic cable, then the big quad lock harness. So you have to press at the bottom here to unlock the clip. Then we'll do this blue antenna. It has the clip right here on the side. And then these two video wires, we're going to flip over. You're going to see that there are clips at the bottom. So you're going to press the clip, and at the same time with the tool on top, remove these two connections. So next we need to remove this climate control panel, and in order for it to come out, you actually need to move the gear selector all the way down. So when you do that, we just turn on the ignition, put our parking brake on, and then we moved it all the way down. Make sure that the parking brake is on, otherwise the car is going to roll. So in order to remove this unit, you need to use your flathead screwdriver, and on both sides here you insert the flathead screwdriver in order to unlock this little lock that is, or it's like a clip. So I'm pressing it right now, and then I'm going to use our panel removal tool from the side here to get this unit out. So that's one side. This is the second side. As you can see here, this is the clip that I'm pressing, and in order for it to come out. So over here you have all these connections, and the one that we're going to be using for our kit is this one, the brown one. So you can try to use your fingers, or you can use the flathead screwdriver in order to push this clip in order to remove this connection. So I'm going to use my fingers here, and here you go. That's how it disconnects. And now with everything removed, we can show you everything that comes in our kit. So these are all the contents of our kit. So you have your main module. Over here we have our harnesses. So one harness is for the climate control panel, and this is the main harness that goes to the back of the stereo. Again, this is our main module. And here we have our video cables, our wireless antenna for wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. And this is our USB cable that we use for updates to the module, and you can also connect your Apple or Android phone by the wire. So we're gonna first start with our USB cable. So our main goal here everywhere is to get all the parts of our kit either behind the stereo for the wiring or behind here, and our module will be right there beneath all of this wiring. There's tons of space in this car to hide the module. So first we're gonna get our USB cable there. So we're gonna start over here from the passenger footwell compartment, and here behind these panels there's a big opening that you can use to feed this wire through, and then I'm gonna reach with my hand. I'm gonna catch this wire on the inside, and we're gonna pull this wire through. We're gonna pull it all the way through, so this wire over here in the footwell compartment, you can just hide neatly here, so it's not really visible. Next is our wireless antenna. So a good spot in this car for the wireless antenna is right here on top of the head unit, underneath the vents. So carefully make sure that the surface, you wipe it down so you can actually stick it here. Once you stick it on, this end we're gonna feed behind here, behind the head unit. Make sure that all of the wire goes through so it's not on the way for the vents, and we're going to bring it out here into this area. Now we're going to connect our main harness. So it connects to the original quad lock harness of the stereo. So make sure that the original one, you unlock it, you line it up with our female end of our harness, you insert it almost all the way in, and then you lock it in place so it's almost flush here. So that means it made a good connection. And then this other end of this wiring harness, we're gonna feed behind here, and again, like other wires, we're gonna bring it out at the bottom here, because everything here we're gonna be connecting into our module. This is our harness for the climate control panel. As you remember, we disconnected this original brown connection from this control panel. So we're gonna plug it into our female end of our harness, and then our male will go instead of the original one here. Make sure that it goes all the way in, and then this harness has this small little wire coming out of it, and it's very important to connect it to our main harness that connects to the back of the head unit. So you see this little orange wire, you have to join it with the climate control harness. The last set of wires would be our video cable wires. So there are two ends of these wires. So one main end will go into the module, this double end, and then on the other side you have a female and a male. This will be at the back of the head unit. So we disconnected these connections at the back of the head unit, so we're going to use the gray one. You need to use the gray one, and you're going to connect the original one into our female end. This male end will go into the back of the head unit, and this single double end we're gonna route like we did with all the other wires underneath the head unit and right here into this center area. So now we're ready to connect everything to our main module. So we'll start with this side. We're gonna first connect the wireless antenna. Over here right beside it is our USB wire connection. And then over here, before you connect the power and the CAN wires, you got to make sure that the switches are set correctly for this car. So this is Audi Q7. So switches 2 and 5 need to be on. And also, if you see here, you have this info button here. Some of these have it, some of these don't. But because this car has it, you also have to turn on switch number 7. So it depends. If you don't have the button, it will be 2 and 5. If you have it, then it's also 2, 5, and 7. So all of these are set correctly. So now we can connect the power, and then you need to connect the CAN bus wire right beside it. Again, make sure that you connect this one. Many people get it lost during the installation. And the last wire that we're going to connect is our video wire right here. And now we're going to carefully hide this module behind the dashboard here. So when you're putting the module in, make sure that you're careful with the switches so they don't get adjusted by accident. And this car has plenty of space down there. You can fit 3 of these modules down there, but we're only fitting one, so carefully slide it down. Take your time with arranging the wires, make sure that they're not in the way, and when you're putting it, hiding the module, also make sure that you don't lose these wires for video and the quad lock harness that goes to the back of the head unit, because first we'll hide the module and then we'll connect the head unit. So once all the wires are through, you're going to carefully maneuver this climate control panel. We're going to leave it like in this position here, because now we need to check that we have all the wires that we need for the head unit. So you need your quad lock harness, you need your fiber optic cable. This is our video cable. Then we have our yellow wire, and this is the antenna for AM FM. So once you have all of these, you can kind of hold them, and at this point you can clip the climate control back, and now we're ready to connect our radio back. So this is our head unit, so we're going to start doing all the connections. We'll start with our video cable, and it has to go into the gray connection here. This is our antenna. Make sure that you don't pull too hard on it, it doesn't break. Then we'll do this yellow video cable. Now we can do our quad lock harness. So again, it has to be unlocked, and you have to insert it almost all the way in, and then you lock it in place. And the last thing is our fiber optic cable. This is very important also to connect, otherwise the head unit doesn't get any power. And now carefully maneuver all these wires and the harness, and we're gonna put the stereo back in. So before we lock the stereo in place, we're gonna test everything. So with our ignition on, we're testing that the original system works and that the original controls work. So everything is good here. And we're gonna test by the wire, but of course you're gonna be able to pair your iPhone wirelessly to the system. In order to hear music from CarPlay and Android Auto, the same exact phone needs to be paired to the original Bluetooth of the car. And you're gonna choose the Bluetooth sound source here. Once you do that, we're gonna plug in the phone by the wire. You gotta make sure that it charges. As you can see, you got an extra mode, which you didn't have before. And here you have CarPlay appearing on your screen. So you're gonna test the sound for music to make sure that everything works fine there. And then now we can finish the assembly of this car. So now we can push the stereo all the way in so it locks in place. And now we can reinstall the vents back. So don't forget to do these 2 connections at the bottom of it. So this is the smaller one here, and the big one right in the middle. We're gonna flip it over, line it up, and push it in. So the installation has been completed. We paired our iPhone wirelessly to the system, and now you can enjoy CarPlay or Android Auto in your Audi Q7. I hope you liked the video, and we'll see you next time.